0244-376-189. Again, 0244-376-189 or 0241-136-632. And Love 360 is also brought to you by Kente Rings GH. You know, when those special moments come, don't just wear any fabric and show up. It has got to be Kente, handcrafted Kente that is made to match your personality, your style, even your skin tone. And Kente Rings can help you sort that out. Choose the right colors, the right patterns for your big day, your wedding party, all your special moments. So visit Kente Rings GH at Adenta Rowi Junction. They're close to Papa's Pizza. You can follow them on Instagram at Kente Rings GH. Kente Rings GH, creating everlasting memories with colors and patterns. And HR Certification Center is also supporting us on Love 360. And they're saying if you want to charter, you want to grow in your career in HR, they can help you get certified as a professional in human resources in just 6 months. HR practitioner or fresh graduate, this international certification gives you the recognition and the credibility that you need. It's weekend classes only. You can study online or in person. So take the smart step for your career today. Call HR Certification Center or WhatsApp them on 0244 122 855 and make some time to visit their website this morning, phrglobal.com. Nagli Mobility Enhancement Center, HR Certification, and Kente Rings GH bring us Love 360.
Hey, Abana, good morning. Is Max in?
Kojo, when did you return from UK? Your friend has gone to the bank. He's going to make payment for his brother's spine surgery.
Spine surgery?
Yes. The doctor said only surgery can save him in his present condition.
Abina, are you the only stranger in Ghana? I returned to Ghana because of my spine condition, and Naglin has treated me without surgery.
Naglin?
Yes, Naglin Mobility Enhancement Center is the only alternative to spine surgery in Ghana. They treat cases like spondylosis, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, scoliosis, antrolisthesis, and many more, providing wards for patients from outside Accra.
Let me call Max immediately. This is the best news I've heard. Where are they located?
Between Chandra Hill Roundabout and Taifa Junction, right by the main road. Call 0244 376 189. Naglin Mobility Enhancement Center. You will walk again.
Kente is more than just a fabric. It is a symbol of pride, tradition, and cultural identity. Let me share with you where to find the finest handcrafted Kente fabric. Kente Rings GH. Whether it's a special occasion or a desire to make a bold statement, Kente Rings offers you a way to express your individuality. We have special offers for bride and groom where we do scheduled consultations to help choose colors and patterns that suits their skin tone and personality. Take advantage of our pre-order service where you are given the opportunity to customize Kente in your preferred colors and patterns. Visit Kente Rings GH to experience the beauty and strength of Ghana's Kente in all its glory. Location: Adenta Rowi Junction, close to Papa's Pizza. Call 0244 121 745. Instagram at Kente Rings GH. Kente Rings GH, creating everlasting memories with colors and patterns.
Are you an HR practitioner or a graduate in any field who wishes to become an HR practitioner? Professional certification is a demonstration of your competence, commitment to excellence, and higher professional standards. Getting certified as a professional in human resources gives you recognition as a competent professional with key expertise to respond to all key technical issues regarding people management for organizational growth. Take the next big step in your career and the Global Professional HR Certification in 6 months. Weekend tuition only, physical and online options available. Contact the approved provider of the Global Professional HR Certifications in Ghana, the HR Certification Center, to sign up. Call or WhatsApp for details 0244 122 855, 0244 122 855. Visit phrglobal.com for more information.
This month on Sunny 88.7 FM, love takes center stage in every direction of your life. Love 360 is a powerful month-long series exploring love for God, self and family,
love for work, or business and love for health? Catch Love 360 on IM Drive, Positive Soul Food, and Sunset Drive all through February. Love 360's real conversations, hope-filled stories, and practical wisdom will help you rediscover the true essence of love. This February, love goes full circle on Sunny 88.7 FM. Love 360 is brought to you by HR Certification Center, Naglin Mobility Enhancement Center.
Your dials in Sunny 88.7 FM. This is your Positive Soul Music station. And this morning we are with Pal Tahoda. She's Executive Director for HR Certification Center. This morning we're talking about career success and growth. So you definitely want to keep your dial right here. We are live on Facebook, also live on YouTube. In fact, subscribe to our YouTube, okay? So you get your notifications. Also, you can watch us on our Sunny TV GH app. And Pal, good morning. Welcome to the Studio Sunny 88.7 FM. Good morning.
Good morning to your listeners.
Definitely.
Glad to be here.
Excited to have you as well. And we've been asking our listeners this morning, Pal, about that one skill or habit that has helped them grow the most in their career so far. I want to share with you some of the submissions that have come through, and maybe you can share your thoughts with us on that, if there's any that you'd add to it. So the first one that came through was thoroughness. That's Scarlett, one of our ardent listeners, telling us she makes sure that she's storing everything she does. It's taking it very far. We also had someone touching, Amma is she's an insurance broker. She says for her it's been valuing relationships. Another one says going all out in every task that she's giving at work. Another one also said continuous learning. And I want you to touch on these. I mean, what are your thoughts on these skills or habits that some of our listeners have shared concerning what has helped them grow in their career?
Right. Jennifer, these are very revealing, touch points for our listeners. But before we go into some of these skills, I want us to have some clarity on what career success is and what career satisfaction is. Right. So when we talk about career success, practically or technically, they are the things that people see out, or the outlook that is projected about someone. So, for example, Jennifer, somebody would describe you as having a successful career because they see you possibly win some awards, they see you, attend conferences, they see you speak on bigger platforms, and possibly your friends can say that you have some good pay coming in, you drive a very good car, and so they will describe all of those as successful career success for you. Satisfaction, on the other hand, is innate. It has to come from you. People really may not be able to tell whether you have career satisfaction, but you, the person doing the work, you, the person, performing that role, you need to understand what satisfaction in this role means for you. It has to be something that is from within. So if I'm saying that I'm satisfied with my career, it means I have listed, or I have a checklist of things I want to see, and I've been able to check those boxes to say that I am satisfied with what I am doing. And I'm sure that when we go into the conversation, we can touch on some of the things that you need to look out for to say that you are satisfied with your role.
Sure.
Now let's look at the skills that have been mentioned.
Yes.
My topmost.
Which one is it for you, Pal?
Learning and development.
Oh, continuous learning. Okay. All right.
So I would tell my people at the HR Certification Center that there is that beauty about being intentional and deliberate about yourself. It is the role of the employer to train you and to develop you. But you, the individual, you ought to be selfish about your own development. If you do not open up, there's just a little the employer can do when it comes to training, when it comes to learning, when it comes to development. But when you open up yourself, you know who you are, you know where you are going, you know what the future looks like for you. With or without your employer developing you, you make the conscious effort to develop yourself. All right. Now, somebody mentioned being thoughtful or being thorough.
Yes.
So that is being deep about the things you do. We cannot as employees, we cannot be passive about what we do. If you're given a role, it's a platform for you to exhibit what you have. And so if you are playing dilly-dally with the work you're doing, your employer can see, your colleagues can see, and with time, it becomes a habit, it becomes character. So every day you go to work, you don't care whether the work is being done, you don't care whether it's responding to the needs of the organization, you don't care whether that customer in front of you needs information. You do it anyhow. And with time, you get labeled as that is who you are. But if you are intentional, you are deep, you are thorough about what you do, with time, employers see. And you see, when we are talking about promotion, or we want to have conversations on promotions, these are some of the things we look out for.
Oh, okay.
All right. Are you just ordinary, or you are extraordinary? All right. So we've given you a list of things you need to do, maybe in a quarter, in a year. We will check all of those things. You've checked all of the boxes. Another employee has also checked all of the boxes. What is the extra that you're doing as an employee that will get you promoted? So that is being thorough, and that is being deep, that is being intentional about your role. All right. So there are many other things that, or other skills that people can build. Somebody spoke about connection or
Value
networking.
relationships, nurturing them.
You know, that is also very important. But the question is, why are you networking? What is the reason for the networking? Somebody who is not great at their role, they don't value all of those. So for the listener who says that they value networking, it means they are intentional.
Okay.
They are looking forward to some level of success, some level of satisfaction. So they build the networks, they build all of the connection so they can progress on their career path. So these are very great skills
Submissions
that
that
your
come in.
listeners have mentioned. You see, when we even talk about skills, right? What role are you in? What is the future of the role you're performing? What are the skills that you need to acquire to move you from now to the next? All right. Everybody is talking about technology. All right. People now are moving away from just the conversation on people management to people leadership. These are intentional skills that we need to acquire. So somebody will say, oh, there's technology, there's artificial intelligence, and, you know, we are having bits and pieces of conversation around it. I want your listeners to understand that no matter the role you are in, you need technology as an enabler for whatever you do. You can be a receptionist. Your work is to receive letters and file them, you know, to place that call to that manager. You can use technology to make it better. So the letters would come in, you can have a scanner, scan it and save it somewhere. So at a click of a button, it goes to everybody. You don't need to climb to the 9th floor to go and deliver that letter. So learn technology is a great skill to make sure that at least you have career success, if not satisfaction. And then the conversation on leadership. Jennifer, leadership is not just when you are at the top. It's not when you become a manager. Leadership can be learned and can be, you know, used in every level of the organization. Whether you are the entry level, you are the mid-level, or you are the top, leadership is imperative. And you need to begin now. The last time I was having a conversation with somebody, and I said, the time to learn it was long ago. The best time is now. And so if you're listening to this conversation, leadership is a skill you must acquire. You can get it through mentorship, you can get it through coaching, you can get it through deliberate learning. And there are various institutions now focusing on leadership as a subject matter. One of them is my favorite, the Institute of Leadership and Strategy. So if you are at the top currently, you want to call the Institute of Leadership and Strategy and check that out. Otherwise, there are institutions offering loads of conversation, topics, and learning in leadership, and you can also learn that. So these two are the ones I will add to what you have already.
Thank you so much. We're live and you can join in the conversation. WhatsApp 0540 You can also drop your comment if you have a question via our live feed on Facebook. You can also drop your comment via YouTube. Pearl, at the beginning, when you started speaking, you touched on how satisfaction is in it. And I want to know whether you'd like to align that with purpose for you, if you'd want to, if there's a connection, if you'd say so for people out there.
Right. Yes, Jennifer, definitely career satisfaction is linked to purpose. And before we even go into the conversation of purpose, how do people identify their purpose? Sometimes we take what we are doing currently to mean that is our purpose. And so literature will tell you that there's a difference between your occupation and your career. So your occupation is what occupies your 8 hours in a working day. That is your occupation. Your career is, if we want to describe you as this is who you are in terms of work, how would we describe you? So for example, Pearl, currently my occupation is the Executive Director of HR Certification Center. What is my career? I am a business executive. I manage businesses with specialty or focus on SMEs and startup. All right.
Okay.
So sometimes people take the occupation to mean that this is my purpose. It starts from knowing who you are. Who am I? What have I been created on this earth to do? So once you know who you are, it takes you right into the choices you make, especially when it comes to your career. You may be doing something now, and I call it a means to an end. And so what we are doing now, if you know it already, that this is who am I, or this is what I want to be, and so my choice of career is in alignment with what I want to be or my purpose on earth, perfect, you are there. But if you've not figured it out already, see whatever you are doing now as a means to an end.
Okay.
All right. There could be many means to an end, not just one. So I will say that don't get stuck with today's means. Keep looking for that one means to the end, which is your purpose. So, of course, satisfaction must link to your purpose. So I will say that there are certain boxes you must check when it comes to what satisfaction means to you. What are your personal values?
So those are the boxes we need to be checking.
Yes. So knowing who you are
okay.
will reveal your personal values. So what are your personal values? Number one. And so in choosing your career, you want to find out this organization, what they do, where they are going, the organizational values, or what we call the core values. Are they in alignment with my personal value? If you get 50% alignment, you are good.
Okay.
You can go for that. If you
Is there ever 100%, Pearl?
I can't sit here and say yes.
Okay.
But as you travel, so from the start, you may not have all the boxes checked. But as you travel the journey of that career path, you should be looking out for what the organization is into.
Okay.
Do they have integrity in the things they do? Are they saying it as it is? Whatever their future is, does it align with where I am going? So your personal values, the company's values must align with your personal values. And I'm saying that if you have 50%, you're good to start.
Okay.
If you do not get the 50% and you are desperate, is one of the conversations we would come to, and you are desperate for work because bills must be paid, see that as a means to an end and be careful how you pursue that means. So I would say that give yourself timelines. That is, if the values are not in alignment, but you want to make a bit of compromise because you see this as one of the means to an end because you are pressed. You need those bills to be paid. Otherwise, someone else will suffer.
Yeah.
So give yourself timelines. How long do I want to be here? And whilst I am here, if I've given myself 5 years, whilst I am here, what are the things I should be doing for the other means to an end? All right. So you're looking for all of those, and you have to be intentional about it. All right. And so that is number one. Number two, you need to know. So your personal values, number one. Number two, you need to know where you are going. What is my future? What success do I want to see in my career? Is this organization, is this role offering me that? And if where I want to go is not what I have now, do I see this as a path that I can travel to where I want to go to? Let me tell you a story, Jennifer.
I love stories. Let's go.
I think about 3 years ago, we went for a program and I was put on a hot seat. It was more like a fun, moment. I was put on a hot seat and I was asked, apart from what you're doing now, what is your ideal situation? My boss was sitting there and I said, I want to retire a diplomat.
Okay.
And I'm not joking about it. So then fast forward last year, I had another conversation with my boss and said, Pearl, how many more years do I have with you? I know he's listening.
Yeah.
And I said, I would give you 5 to 7 years of my time. The rest of my years up to 60, I want to work towards becoming a diplomat. So my career today or my occupation today is a means to an end. And Jennifer, it doesn't come easy. You need to know the future you are creating for yourself. And it doesn't take sleeping 8 hours to do that. It doesn't take going to the office and doing the same thing, routine work, and not, having some sort of growth path to your career. It doesn't come by going for all of social events when even it is not necessary. You have to be intentional about creating that future and walking into it. And that is what we call success. And once it's in alignment with where you are going, then of course you're on the path to having satisfaction. All right. So your values, your future. And then the final thing, does it speak to my faith?
Okay.
It is pretty difficult for a non-Christian to find himself or herself in a Christian environment. So when I'm talking about faith, I'm not even talking about you going to church. What is your faith? What is your belief? What do you believe in? All right. Apart from what the Bible tells us, you must have your personal beliefs. And whatever you're performing now, does it speak to that faith? If it's in contradiction with the faith, you would be stuck. If the role you're performing now doesn't lead to your future, you will be stuck. If it's against your personal values, then of course you would wake up every morning and you have to gnash your teeth, you have to grind your teeth, you have to practically drag yourself out of bed to go to work. But if these are in alignment, you wake up a happy soul and you go to work.
Ready to take on the world.
Of course. And whether you get paid for it or not, you do it because it gives you fulfillment. It gives you satisfaction. You do it regardless. All right. And Jennifer, I'm sure you've seen, you've gone to a hospital. And I'll put my nurses on the line this morning. You've gone to a hospital and you've seen nurses that are happy gold nurses.
Yeah.
All ready, all welcoming, with warm, and they want to receive you. Even if your situation is hopeless, they give you hope.
Yeah.
That is what we call satisfaction.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've seen other nurses where you can give them 10 million Ghana cedis as salary. They still will not do the work well because that is not their calling. Your career, whether we like it or not, must be your calling. And so once you climb that pulpit of career, just as the ministers will climb the pulpit of the word, you do it and it must give satisfaction. And you see, once you receive the satisfaction, it's expressed within the way you do the work and others can see it, that you are happy doing what you're doing. All right. You don't feel stuck. You don't have to be forced to do it. Ideas will come to you naturally and you are willing to give off yourself to others. That is what we talk about when we say satisfaction.
So let's say, Pearl, I've checked these boxes. I walked in the role I'm in for maybe 5-10 years or something. How can I know when it's time for me to grow, to get to the next level of the role I'm performing on my career?
Good.
If you get it, yeah.
Good. Jennifer, ambitions do change.
Okay.
Today we are passionate about something. In 5 years, we are no longer passionate about that. People outgrow the roles, they outgrow the rooms, they outgrow the platforms. And so it's expected of every employee. I sit here to tell you that I want to retire a diplomat. Maybe 5 years, something would happen. We call it the turning moment. And then I decide that, look, I'll do diplomacy for 10 years and I want to do something else. You sleep, you wake up, and there is that heavy burden on you to go into ministry. We've seen people switch from their career
very
into
drastically.
ministry, and then you wonder, how did that happen? Passions do change, ambitions do change. And so once you are in a role and you notice that there is that burning desire to do something different, don't sweep it under the carpet.
Okay.
Pay attention to it. How often does it come? And you see, let me be careful how I say it. Sometimes we see others thriving in a different role, and then we fixate ourselves on this, and then it would become our reality. So you wake up and said, no, I don't want to be a business administrator anymore. Maybe I want to go into being, a radio show host or something, because I see Jennifer do it and she's thriving in it. No, that's not what we are talking about. You need to give it time, and you need to subject it to reality test. Does it check all of the boxes for me? And practically, one of the things I would tell you is that don't jump into it yet.
Okay.
Talk to someone. Talk to a professional. We have career coaches, and now I think that we have a lot of them in the system. Look for a professional one and speak to them. Speak to someone who can direct you on the right path. That is giving it time. Some people just up 3 months, they are gone, and then they hit the rock, and then they have to come back. So you may have that burning desire to do something else. Give it time. Let it check all of the boxes. Speak to a professional before you make the move. But Jennifer, if you're stuck in your career, you've done everything that you have to do as a person to make sure you progress, but it is not happening, look at the environment you are working in.
Okay.
The organization, what they stand for, the people in the environment. Is the culture becoming toxic? All right. Are these the people who would, have a plan, a deliberate plan for the year on people development and growth? If those are not evident, my candid advice to you is to start preparing an exit plan. I won't advise you to get up, pack your bag, 3 months, 6 months, sometimes even 1 year to leave, because you would go and then there is nothing, and you are exhausted, you are overwhelmed trying to get into the next role. Have an exit plan. Where am I going next? Whether we like it or yes, to all of our employers, your people, as I'm even speaking, they are making applications. They are talking to the next employer. It's okay. So what I will say is that create an environment that is welcoming, is developing, seeks to grow the people working in your space, so they don't even use your internet to look for the next role. So whether we like it or yes, it's happening. So to my listeners, or to your listeners, what I'm saying is that have an exit plan.
Okay.
Give it time.
If you do not see that the company is serious about people development.
Yes.
Okay.
Like a whole year, there's nothing new. There's no plan to your development. You don't even have conversation with your manager or your supervisor that says that what is next for you? How are you faring in this role? What can I do as your manager to ensure that you have success? Are you enjoying what you do? Are you seeing progress? Is it leading to something? If you don't have these conversations with your managers, you are in the wrong environment.
And Mami is asking, you talked about giving it time if you're realizing that you need to move to the next level, next place. She's asking how much time?
Mommy, I can't sit here and tell you how much time, look at the situation and plan. So the planning would tell you how much time you can stay there. You possibly would see another opportunity. You've done all of your research around that opportunity and it looks better. It speaks to what you want to see in your future. I think the law says that you should give your employer 1 month notice, depending on your contract. If your contract is project based, maybe about 3 months or something. Once you satisfy that, feel free to resign and go to your next role. So you would have to determine how much time you have based on your planning. And my advice is that speak to a professional. They should be able to guide you on how much time you have. But Jennifer, the caveat is that the environment is toxic. It's killing you.
What is one major identifier of a toxic environment?
Abuse in all forms.
Okay.
I haven't seen an environment yet that physically abuse employees, but I won't say it doesn't exist. You can have an employer who is angry and issue a slap. I think I've heard a story of a restaurant where, is it pepper that was poured into somebody's eye or something of the sort? An angry employer will just issue a slap or slam the door at you and things like that. But away from that abuse, there is also the mental, the psychological abuse. You are reduced to nothing practically every day when you get to work. The culture is that you are shamed every day. Your ideas do not matter. You get up to speak in a meeting and they don't care about your emotions. They just slam the issues on you. If you find yourself in that environment, my candid advice is that exit.
Start putting your
Even
exit
if you
plan
do
together.
not have a plan, because you need to protect your mental health. It's very key. Sometimes employers, or let me say the employment or the work environment, reduces us to nothing to the point where we don't even believe in ourselves.
That's serious.
That environment, I won't advise anybody to be there.
So, Pearl, we have a voice note. Let me share that with you. It's a question, and then we take it from there. I want to make sure you can hear this. Okay.
Hello, good morning, JJD. So I have a question for here. So, in the case where, let's say, you find that in terms of the checklist assessments that she's talking about, so if, let's say, you are in an organization and you feel the organization meets your goals, etc., but you know every organization is made up of people, and then there are people that are in, different levels of the organization. If the person, let's say, who is within the organization on top of you, for instance, is not exhibiting the values of the organization entirely, my question is, what then do you do? Do you decide to change organizations because of the human components that is not aligning with your values, or because the organization still aligns with your values, you stay there and try to figure out or try to work out something? I don't know if she understands my question. So what if you have a problem, but your problem is not necessarily the organization, it's more of the human beings that have been put in the organization to make the organization work? What if the human beings are not making your career goals work, and is sort of limiting your ability to grow or your ability to excel in your career? What do you do then? Thank you.
The question she's asked has brought me to a song by Jonathan McReynolds. It's titled People. It says, Lord, deliver me from people. People problems, Pearl.
Yeah.
Please go ahead to respond
All
to her.
right, Jennifer, that's an interesting one. But let me make this assertion that a successful organization is made up of resources, and that includes human resource. So people are a greater part of a successful organization. So what I will be looking out for is whether um, the issue is with the larger chunk of the people or just the manager. I think that's what I got. That is with the person you report or the person who is on top of
Above,
you,
yeah.
as she puts it. There is a way we manage our bosses or the manager, and my boss will tell you that you cannot outshine your manager. You may know more, you may have more, and you may be here longest before your manager or your boss joined, but you cannot, I mean, quote and unquote, you cannot outshine your manager. There's a way you manage your manager so you get the best out of your career. What I will advise her to do is to go beyond her manager and speak to her manager's manager.
Manager. Okay.
If that is the organogram they have, speak to your manager's manager, because the person she's reporting to now has the power to say yes or no to your career, has the power to frustrate you practically every day in your career. So if you have that opportunity or if you have that platform to do it, speak to your manager's manager or a trusted person. I know there are some organizations that have psychologists attached to their HR department. You may want to seek some sort of comfort or redress there and see how the issue is resolved. If you are able to change your manager, so sometimes in our performance conversations, you can actually request to be moved to another department because you've acquired this skill or you have this passion that you think that you can practice in the next department. If that is also possible, then seek to do that, because you don't obviously have a problem with the organization. You still want to work there because that's an organization you can connect with, but you have a problem with the person. Try to eliminate the person. Eliminate not in a negative sense. All right. Try to switch away from that manager to a new manager if that opportunity is there, or move to the next department if that is there. If it's not working, advise yourself. There are still many good organizations out there.
I'm loving our time this morning with Pearl. Great insight she's sharing. Good morning to all of you who've joined us online as well. Pa Bewa says career satisfaction is key. Wigglesworth Samuel Kwabena Anson says, I'm enjoying the conversation. Hello, Pearl. Ebefa. Kakari Kwejo Andrew says, very informative. Ruben Daxid says, I love listening to people like this. In fact, I'm enjoying this moment. We have another voice note coming through. Pearl, let's listen to this one too. Okay.
So good morning, JJD. I have two questions for the lady, please. My first question, what do you do when you are good at your job to the point that your employer refused to promote you? That's my first question. And my second question is, what do you do when you have moved ahead and your employer feels that behind whatever work you did behind, the place is no more functioning as it should, and so chooses to demote you to go back to fix the place up? How do you deal with it? And how do such people exit? Because it's more of a demotion. Thank you.
Pearl, did you catch everything?
I missed it along the way.
Okay,
but I heard something about demotion, so I want to
I think I can recollect where I lost you. Okay.
And your employer feels that behind whatever work you did behind, the place is no more functioning as it should, and so chooses to demote you to go back to fix the place up. How do you deal with it? And how do such people exit? Because it's more of a demotion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Pearl, I saw a smile on your face.
Yes, I'm sure that's a smile of confusion. Okay, so my understanding of the question is that she did some work, or she was in a previous role, and she's been moved to a higher role. She's been promoted.
Yes.
And then the employer feels that you haven't done a great job,
So she's actually being sent back because since she left, that role hasn't been filled as well as she filled it when she was there. So it looks like there's something missing there. So she has to go back
Okay.
and make sure things are working as she made it work there before
Okay.
she
Okay.
left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she sees it as a demotion. Because I was
Yes,
promoted
so
to do something
they,
bigger.
they shouldn't have demoted her. What should have been done? I mean, I don't know the organization, so I can't speak authoritatively on that. But what should have been the case is that she needs to be tasked to develop someone. That should have been done before she leaving the role. So if you are employing from within or if you're replacing from within, she should have trained somebody capable enough.
And I
before
want to
she
find
moved
out,
ahead.
in doing this, particularly, I'm wondering, is it an initiative I probably should have taken while I was there to make sure that I was growing somebody to do what I was doing?
Both.
Okay.
Both. So if there is a succession plan in place for the organization, we should know the critical levels and we should know the kind of capabilities we need in that critical level. So if I'm currently the administrator of my organization, what are the capabilities for the administrator now? In 5 years, when we need to promote the current administrator to the next level, what are the capabilities we are looking for the next administrator? So the organization would have to lay a path for you to develop someone. All right, that is if we are looking at promoting from within. Otherwise, if we're bringing somebody from outside, we have to be sure that we've checked all of the boxes for these capabilities before we deploy the person to that role. But what I'm saying is that the lady shouldn't have been demoted necessarily. She could have been in her current role and tasked to develop the person in the role. And you see, when we talk about people development, it shouldn't just be a project. It should be a process. It should be more like an operation where you do it continuously until you say that, okay, this is it. Take over the role. And even when you take over the role, we still have to continually develop you because, look, knowledge is very abundant and it's changing very thick and fast. And so you can say that the knowledge you used in doing this role a year ago is the same knowledge. So that lady should have been tasked to develop that person, but not necessarily sent back to that role. There is a problem, but because I do not have all of the information, I can't say why that should be the case. And if you're demoting people, there should be a reason for the demotion.
Okay.
If just because she has the knowledge and she's the only person that can do that role, what processes did you go through before moving her to the next role? And what did you look out for before replacing that role? So there is a problem.
Okay.
And because I don't have all of the information, we may leave it here. But of course, she can feel free, with your permission, to speak with me after this program.
One of the last things I'm going to ask you is how they can connect with you, because I'm seeing so many questions come
That's
through. We do
fine,
not have
yes.
enough time. This one says, what do you do when you love your job, your role at work, but your boss is a narcissist? Pal? Have you ever been asked this before?
I haven't had one. No, never. I don't
This
pray
is a
for
first for you.
that. Jennifer, I love my job and I want to wake up every morning a happy person. There are occasions, there are times where as a person you don't feel okay. You are asking plenty questions. Is this role for me? Is this what I want to do all my life? Those are not reasons you should leave your job yet. But if you have that boss, I can't use the term here because I'm on Sunny, but if you have that boss, please be bold enough to leave. Be bold enough.
You can't sit around
I
little
know
and
you
hope.
would say there are no jobs and what am I going on to? Do I know what I would get out there? Is the reason people are stuck in their roles. Your mental health is or must be your priority. If you have there's nothing you would do to that boss that will please him, that will make him like you. And unfortunately, you cannot change people overnight. So if you love your mental health, if you love yourself enough, if you respect yourself enough, please leave. I won't sit here and tell you to go around it. If the person is just difficult, yes, then you can have, ways and means. What makes him difficult, blah, blah, blah. Then you can have your way around it. But if the person is a narcissist, Jennifer,
Start preparing your exit plan. Put
yes,
yourself together.
leave.
See how you're going to pay your bills.
If you have
and
the
leave.
time, give yourself 3 months, 6 months, 1 year.
Put yourself
Go. If you
together.
do not have the time and you are like me, please leave.
This is Sunny 88.7 FM. We are loving Pel Tahoda. We're live on Facebook. And am I pronouncing your name right? That's what I was going to ask from the beginning.
Pel P. Tehoda.
Tehoda.
If my grandfather or my dad is listening, say Tehoda.
Tehoda.
Yes.
Because this morning driving, I said, Jennifer, this needs a little accent. It needs a little bit of accent.
If you've eaten banka this
Tehoda.
morning, it's Tehoda.
I haven't
But if
eaten
you've
it, so I'll
taken
stick
English
to-
breakfast, it's Tehoda.
I'll stick to the English breakfast one for this morning. We're loving our time with Pel Tahoda. She is the Executive Director of HR Certification Center. Good morning to all of you who've joined us on Facebook, on YouTube. If you have a question, you can also drop it. We are live. You can also watch us on our Sunny TV GH app. Pel, you touched on how important it was for you, the continuous learning bit. And if you can share a few stories with us about how you've seen it impact people's long-term career growth and relevance in this space.
Jennifer, 100% or more continuous learning or learning and development, whether it's being initiated by yourself or by your employer, is very relevant. We cannot even give it some sort of or classify it in a certain way. Every employee, no matter the level you are, you must yearn to develop yourself, because the success you're looking for, the satisfaction you're looking for, is in your development. So you go for, let's say, a conference, for example. Let's say an HR conference. You're already an HR manager. You are exceptional at your work. Just a statement from that conference is the reason you will rethink how you're doing your work. So conversations on development, it's not just when you go to the four walls of a classroom that you're developing yourself. Look out for mentors, people who have traveled the path, people you look up to, or people who are currently exhibiting the future of your career. Look out for those mentors. Sit with them. Have a conversation with your mentors. Look out for career coaches, all right, and work with them.
Okay.
If you have the means, pay that money. Look out for that knowledge. Get it and advance your work. And I said from the beginning, or somewhere in my conversation, that the world of work is changing very fast. And now that technology is sitting with us as an enabler to what we do, you cannot say that you are okay where you are. You possibly have a PhD in whatever you are doing or whatever knowledge you have currently. PhD is still not enough. There is that professional development. There is that knowledge somewhere that you need to look out for. And if you're seeking for knowledge, if you're seeking to develop yourself, don't just look through a tunnel. Don't slot your eye into that tunnel. I'm a radio journalist and all I care to know is about journalism. No. Learn about leadership, learn about business management, learn about emotional intelligence, learn about communication, effective communication. And once you get all of that, you come across as an authority. When you're speaking, you speak with relevance, you speak with competence, you speak with credibility. So don't slot your eye into that tunnel. Learn wide and vast around your field and also away from your field, because you do not know where you would find yourself tomorrow. So Jennifer, if your listeners don't pick anything away from this conversation, career success, career satisfaction is just a step away from developing yourself. And never, ever stop developing yourself. That is what has made me, and I continue to learn. I'm currently doing a 3-week course in corporate governance because it aligns with where I am going. I'm an executive director. I go for board meetings, I sit on board. And so obviously you need to learn about corporate governance. So what is your future? Give yourself a path. You see the way institutions will develop a training calendar for their employees for the year.
Yeah.
You to develop one for yourself.
For myself.
This quarter 1, 3 months, what do I want to learn? Quarter 2, what do I want to learn? If you can do it monthly, beautiful. If you can do it quarterly, beautiful. If in the year all you can do is one, at least you moved. You took a step. Don't get stuck with not knowing something new every time. And where can you get all of these? There are a lot of free platforms where you can learn. There's something called the School of Google, the School of YouTube. And right here at the HR Certification Center, we do loads of free learnings. There's one currently coming. It's called the Effective Communication. It's free. Check us out on our social media platforms, have the details, and join. But look, if you are a forward-thinking human being and you desire success and satisfaction, let your middle name be learning and development.
And I'm going to ask Pearl to share with us how you can reach out to her, to HR Certification Center. And, you should check out their page. They are constantly running webinars. I mean, yesterday I was sleeping there, checking out all these great webinars. And I believe that for anyone who's made a decision that this year I have to find a way to develop myself, I love what Pearl had to say. Be selfish about your personal development. You know what? Let's ask what do you say? Let's tie our claws to HR certification this year. And let's join as many webinars as we can. I believe that by, end of first quarter, mid-year, we should be able to say, I've been able to grow in this area. I've been able to grow in this regard. I'm seeing growth in myself. Pearl, how can we contact you or contact HR Certification Center?
Jennifer. My boss
Her
is
boss
Jeff.
is Jeff Bassey. Good morning, Dr. Jeff Bassey. How are you doing?
Somebody say, why are you mentioning your boss's name on air? Jennifer, I am available everywhere. You can find me on social media handles, all of the social media platforms, Pearl P. Tehoda. You can also contact me through the HR Certification Center on 0244122855. The number again is 0244122855. Or feel free to send us a DM on HR Certification Center on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, now X. It was Twitter, right? Now X. On all of the platforms, just send us a DM and request to speak with Pearl P. Tehoda. I will be glad to connect with you. Yes.
Thank you, Pearl.
Thank you,
and
Jennifer.
I'm going to call you the next time I have Banco and Oko, so I pronounce it as your father would. And say, Jennifer,
yes.
you did it. Thank you for joining us this morning on our conversation about career success and growth. Let's know if it's been helpful to you. You can send us a message 0540-130-684. If you have further questions for Pearl, she's dropped the number. You can connect with her. You can reach out to HR Certification Center. And the other people too to reach out to if you're looking at being certified or becoming certified as a professional in human resource. In just 6 months, they can help you achieve that. You're a fresh graduate, you're an HR practitioner. This certification gives you the recognition and the credibility that you need. They run weekend classes. You can study online or in person. So I'd want to encourage you, as we're talking about personal development and all that today, take the smart step for your career. Okay, call or WhatsApp 0244 122 855. And also, Love 360 is proudly brought to you by Kainty Rings GH. Kainty Rings, thank you for bringing us these great conversations this month of February. They're the ones to help you to stand out. You step out, you're looking elegant, you're looking like royalty. They make the finest handcrafted Kainty fabrics. Find them at Adenta, Rowie Junction, close to Papa's Pizza. Go check them out on Instagram right now. It's Kainty Rings GH. Call them on 0244 121 745. Also brought to you by Naglin Mobility Enhancement Center. They're the only option for your spine condition. If you had a spine surgery, wasn't successful, you have complications, please speak to our friends at Naglin Mobility Enhancement Center. If you're dealing with spondylosis, ankylosing, spinal stenosis, a friend of mine says, hey Jennifer, all this SIS. If it ends in SIS, please call Naglin. Okay, find them in between Tantra Hill Roundabout and Taifa Junction. Call them on 0244 376 189 0244 376 189. Pearl, just before we go, your social media